Oh, I think that's recording. So thanks everyone for coming along tonight. We got Mikey here to talk about Excel in PowerShell. So Mikey, I'll pass it over to you, and yeah, looking forward to hearing what you've got to say.
Mute now. Okay, thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ben, for having me. So I'm Mikey. I'll just show my page. I don't have the slide deck or presentation. So I'm Mikey Bronowski. You can find me on LinkedIn. That's not me. That's me. I'm SQL Server DBA for a long time. I'm Microsoft certified trainer and Microsoft Data Platform MVP. And with Excel, I deal with since I was maybe 15. So when I was counting that yesterday, it's a really long time, and I'm scared now. The first calculation application was on Amiga computer. My dad brought it when I was a teenager, and he said like, "Oh, I have this cool thing," and he showed me that cool thing, and it was just a spreadsheet. And I was like 12, and I asked like, "What is this cool thing?" It's just, well, it can do all this sort of calculations. Like, cool, thank you. What games do you have? So that was my first attempt to the sheets, and then when I got the first Excel, I started doing some work. And fast forward to today, I want to show you because I'm SQL Server DBA. I work with the SQL Server automation with PowerShell, because PowerShell is the scripting language for Windows environment. Now not only for Windows environment, it can be also used in different environments. But for my work, it's mostly Windows. And I discovered this module. So the PowerShell has modules, like Python has libraries. In PowerShell, we call them modules. And it has this cool ImportExcel module created by Doug Fink, who, by the way, is a creator of many other modules. Just recently, he is dealing with AI and all sorts of LLMs, and he created PowerShell AI. You can use PowerShell to talk to the ChatGPT and other models, which is great. You can generate stuff with PowerShell as well. But for now, it's just ImportExcel. The whole module is available on GitHub. It's called ImportExcel. Or if you are familiar with PowerShell, it will be on PowerShell Gallery. So we can see here how to install that. Doug has also instruction, but this is the basic instruction. Install module name, and you can put the required version if you want to pick a specific version, like this one is for 7.8.5, but the current one is 7.8.10, updated just 5 months ago. Last time I was dealing with Doug was probably around 2022, 2023. So he probably get some updates. You can see it's very popular, almost 4 million downloads, and yeah, it's very cool. It works based on a free library which is called Excel Package Plus. It was created by 2 Swedish brothers who opened that first version to everyone. You could use it for free. Excel Package Plus, I think. EP Plus. That is the current library. It's not just for PowerShell, it's for the .NET, and you can see all different things. But now we have pricing as well. So the latest, it's EP plus 7. So last time, I think when the ImportExcel stopped supporting IMPORT++ was before 5. Then that's when they changed the licensing model. So before that, you could use PowerShell and that port from the EP Plus to freely access Excel. But after that, they required a license. So if you wanted to use that at work, you had to buy a license for EP Plus. And I think Doug at that time said, let's stop it now since it's free at this point. And the next one we'll have to figure out how to deal with the license, because the PowerShell module is free, but the license to the EP Plus is not. And it may just confuse people that they will start using a tool that requires a license. So just background of the module. So let's go to the VS Code now, because the whole presentation is basically the code. This is the command get module to list all your modules in your environment. And if you pass the parameter, so the PowerShell naming convention is we have a verb to do something, dash, and we have a noun. So in this case, it's get module and some parameters like name. So let's do that. And I don't have this yet, but it's on my machine. You have to do one more parameter, list available. So it will list that my module is here. It's 7.1 in this case. Since we saw the 7, 8, 10 is the latest, you can use the latest one. I'm going to use the 7.1.1 because it was working for me at the time when I was creating this. Sometimes when you get a new version, few things might break. I was working with Doug. So actually, when I found out about the module, I was helping Doug to fix some examples on the repo, because they were used for the older versions, and with the new versions, with some changes, they stopped working. So I'm using the older version just for this demonstration. I'm going to show you how to create and modify Excel files with just PowerShell. I'm not going to touch Excel except the moment when I open the file, so we can see the file. Otherwise, I don't need the Excel to be installed. It's all in the PowerShell module and in that EP Plus library. So I'm going to set my location to temporary, just so if I forgot about these files, I can clean up my temporary location. Here is the list of my future files. So file 1, file 2, file 5. And I'm just going to clean up this as a preparation. They were empty or they were not existent, but just in case there was something, it will break the demonstration. And you can see remove dash item. So we are removing something. Let's run the first command. So get command is again the internal command from PowerShell. It will list all the available commands in the module. The module is called ImportExcel. So I'm going to run this. Save this as a variable. And now I can, for example, run this part. This piping means whatever is on the left side of the pipe sign is an input to the function on the right side. So select is not like a select in terms of T-SQL or SQL. It's select object. It's a command in PowerShell. And then I pick just a specific column from that object, which is here. So we can see here is the set of commands in the module. The naming conventions is sometimes random. So sometimes we can see like new Excel style, new Excel chart. Sometimes it's just some names. So with PowerShell, if you are using PowerShell and there's a different module that has a command which is called test date, you might get a conflict. So then it will shout that when you are using the new module, it will be like, oh, you have a command that exists in different module. So there are ways around that, but I don't have a conflict at the moment. At least I hope so. The main command in the module is export Excel. So whenever I pass the data, so here I have the object with my commands. Here I'm selecting just the name of the command and passing that as an input to my export Excel command to export that as an Excel file. Excel file has a name, is here, is the Mikey at ImportExcel 1 XLS, XLSX. Then we are going to be mean to our Excel. We are going to kill it, and then we will show it. So it's very brutal, but that's how it works. So this switch here is only here because when you have Excel open and I'm running the demo, sometimes it might conflict, so it won't save the file, and you would have to go to the Excel, close that spreadsheet, and run the command again. So I'm just killing this. But if you are working with like data, like for example, Ben, you're doing very important stuff, don't use that because it will just close the whole Excel and won't save you. You'll just have to recover the files, but I don't have to. And the show switch, it's called switch. So this is called parameter because it has a value. Like this is the value of the parameter. And this is a switch because it has true or false. So it's if it shows, usually it's true. If it doesn't show, it's by default false. So I'm going to show that file to us. I don't have this file, this Excel file. I just remove it here. So I'm going. It's opening the Excel now, and we have a first file with the names of the commands from the module in the sheet 1 default sheet. That's the very basic export to the Excel. Nothing fancy, but we can do that with PowerShell. I don't have to open Excel and copy paste or do anything. It just does that for me. But we can do more things in ImportExcel. So let's go to another line. Here again, I'm going to use the same name. It's the number 1. So that file exists, and I can open that file in PowerShell, load it to my session. So I'm going to open that package because the Excel is basically just the whole package. It's not just one file like text file. It has all the metadata, and I can open that again, killing the Excel. So this icon will disappear. It's gone, and now I have opened that package and save it as an object called Excel. It can be any name, but for simplicity, I can do add worksheet to that Excel package and add the name, new tab for Mikey, and move it to end. So I'm going to do that. So we can see that's the package. That's the metadata of the Excel file, some of them, because some of them are hidden in the next level, so you have to go deeper. This was added. There is nothing, it's just an empty worksheet. Now I'm going to get the processes from my laptop. So this is basically what is running on my laptop. So you can see the name, priority, class, CPU, company, and just the first 50, because usually my laptop is cluttered and it has lots of stuff going on, and then it takes forever to get the export. And now I'm going to export that data. So for me, it's just the processes, but it can be files, any data, and it has multiple properties, multiple columns. So think about like importing CSV or another data, and again, passing that data set to the export Excel. This time to Excel package. Before it was the where was it? It was path. So before it was just the file, and now I'm passing this to that Excel package I just opened. And I'm going to export that to the worksheet. And I'm going also to create a table, named table in Excel. And because it always is funky when you load something, I want to do auto size, so it just formats this nicely, and I can also add few fancy things like freeze top row, freeze first column, and show. So let's do that. So show, I'm not killing the Excel this time because it was killed before. So my laptop is not a powerful machine. Takes some time. This is the original one. This is the new one. So it's the same file. I just added new worksheet, exported the data. You can see that we have the PowerShell, or maybe not because it's like top 50. But Brave, which is the browser, the browser or Adobe are the processes that are running on my laptop. And if we go here, where is it? That small formulas. Name manager. We have a table called new name table for Mikey. So it created the name, the table for me. So I don't have to go here and pick the range and do it this way manually. I can now refer to that table because it's already in Excel. It's auto-sized, so I don't have the situation like here where the column is too narrow, so the text goes beyond the column. Okay, now we can close this one. So again, beam into Excel, close it. We can also add pivot table. Everyone loves pivot tables, especially friends and pivot couches. I already had this package open, so I can add pivot table to that package and define the rows, columns, and the data. And because it was the process from my PC, I have CPU and company, and I can do some aggregations. And the source worksheet for my pivot table is new tab for Mikey. And here's the new switch, which means when it opens, it switches to that sheet. So it doesn't open on the first one. It will go to the one I chose. So let's do that. I just added this. I'm not showing this now. And here I'm closing the package. So now I decided to close the changes, save the changes, closing the package, and show. The whole navigation about the module takes some practice because it's not uniform, but it will, if you have good examples, you can work around that. So we have first sheet, second sheet, and then the third one, which is the pivot table. All the stuff I ask for, CPU, sum of CPU, count of company, and I move to that third sheet of the file. And it's all with just the code. Now I'm going to do the second file. We can create, again, some event log because I'm IT, so only working with the hardcore stuff, not the financial stuff. Just looking through logs on computers. Very boring. Yes, 50. Did it go? Yeah. Oh, that was long, 24 seconds. And we can add some conditional formatting. So that will be a new spreadsheet, new file. And here I'm going to define the conditional formatting, like you define the rules in the Excel. And so I have new conditional text command, and then different things: conditional type, above average, duplicate values, text if it contains a specific text like information, that will be my condition, what is the range of my condition, and just changing the colors. So I'm going to define that. And those events, again, export the data set, export the table name again, and I'm passing another parameter, the conditional format. So the format I just created, I'm going to pass to that export, auto size, and activate, because we know what they are for. And the Excel will open. No, it won't open. When we close the conditional formatting, we can say like, oh, let's add one more. So I can add a new conditional new rule. And now with that rule, I can export that again. And here I'm showing the file. So that's file number 2. So this is the last one I added, just like it's interactive. So it's conditional formatting. It changes the quarters. Here's also the formatting. So if I change this to, we have the duplicate values here. So if I do 1, it's not a duplicate. So if I do 1 again, it's a duplicate. So it works. And here's also the above a certain number. So we have the this mini is, where's the conditional formatting? Is it in data?
And home.
Is it home?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You see, I'm working with the PowerShell. So but it's really nice and clean. So when you think about adding the conditional formatting, it's always like very messy, because you add something and you have just the conditional formatting just for these 2 rows, and then just for this column, and just for this range. With this definition, it's very clean. You have the conditional formatting for A column, B column, C column. So really, really nice. Okay. Let's do that. So the next file, you can also create functions and add data. You can generate data and create charts. So here is my very sophisticated function to mathematical function to create something. And I'm just going to export that data. Again, not showing the spreadsheet yet, and defining the chart. So new Excel chart definition, the title, chart type, X range, Y range, and everything that we need to create the chart. That's the definition. And here we have the export Excel as before, the path to the file. And like with the conditional formatting, this is another parameter that passes the chart definition. And it will open. And we have a chart. We have the data, the generated from PowerShell, just the sin and cosine, and we have a chart defined based on the data. It's not the static image. It's a chart we can change. Okay, let's do this one. We can also do this type of chart. So I have a few data like CSV format. I have a header and some data in 2 columns. So let's save it like this. It's one of the ways to save data, to pass data in PowerShell. Then use something like convert from CSV, so that object, that text will be converted from CSV and passed to Excel. And open add Excel chart, which is different way to add charts. Add a chart, add to the chart type will be pie or maybe pizza, and show. So we can pass the data again, create a different chart. And someone said that this chart is just like corner of the room. So we have 2 walls and the floor, if you see that. Well, it was a bit geeky, but I see that. So that is the very basic intro to this module. I have also an example of the maybe more interesting data. Well, not data, but data, but example for less IT people, like the data that actually means something. There is a website. There is an API, Alpha Vantage, where you can request the API key and get access to stock information, stock data. So I'm going to set this to, again, temp, different file name. This is my API key and the symbol for Microsoft stock. Here with invoke REST method, it's not related to that PowerShell module. It's internal to PowerShell. I'm just getting the data from that service. So it should load, yes, it shows the data from Stock Exchange. And I'm going to open that now. So you've seen all these operations, adding the chart, adding the data. So I'm just going to run the whole script and open the spreadsheet. So we have the data, the stock market data from up to yesterday, and here's the chart of the specific stock, like Microsoft in this case. And you can also get that from, like, when you connect to in Excel to different sources, like grab the API. But here you just add this in PowerShell. So if you have multiple things, or you want to change that, or you want to, for example, create load multiple stock data into one spreadsheet, you can probably create something like a set of specific stock code symbols, and then iterate through that, and it will create multiple sheets, and then you can do something else with just PowerShell. So you don't have to do it manually to, like, oh, go there, grab this symbol. And from the PowerShell repo, there's lots of examples to show how it works. So I picked 4. We can pass the formulas to the Excel as well. Let's hope this one works, because that was from the website. So I want to have the data also convert from CSV, export to the file, and we have some formatting, like different colors, And there is also a formula. So I can pass that formula. So we have the formula here, VLOOKUP is added. So if you have a certain template for things, you can just run the PowerShell, change the data and generate multiple files instead of copying files that way. And you don't have to use VBA if you are more familiar with PowerShell than VBA. This one is exactly the same. It just generates different data and does the database sum function, which is not doing this right now.
Is there an empty value in there?
There is, yes. I will want to troubleshoot this right now. Let's move on. This command is importing tables from different sources on different websites. So, for example, you can import table from Wikipedia. Wikipedia has a nice format of tables. So this is the article of Wikipedia, list of Star Trek episodes, and the table number 2 or 3, I think, because it starts from 0. So we can import that table, and we have the whole table from Wikipedia here in spreadsheet. We can do this with the data, get data from different reference sources, like here. We can do that from Azure and from other sources, but with PowerShell, you can do this. You can copy that stuff. Like I have second line, and just get the data from different website.
Is that dynamic? So, I suppose they're not making more Star Trek episodes, but say you were connected to a table that was continuously growing.
No, that's static. That just pulls the current state. So that's a good question. If I could do like a live connection. Yeah. But maybe in this case you can just refresh, like run the script and refresh if like.
If you were to, just thinking, because say you connected to a table like this, and then you had other sheets in the workbook that had formulas pulling from that table. When you rerun the PowerShell, would it open a brand new workbook, and would you just have to maybe copy and paste the expanded data into this?
You can overwrite. You can just load it to the same file. So clean up this worksheet and then rerun. So that's also possible. So it doesn't always create a new file, new sheet. It's just for the demo. It's easier to do this, but you can do that. Like always reuse the same file and reload the data. And the last example was to try something SQL-y from my world. Oh, okay. I have the file. Where is the file? So I need the database, and the database is not there. So I had a Excel sample database kind of file, which trust everyone. What was the name? Test Ole. Oh yes, it's here. So I need to change to this location. Wrong. I'm just in different folder now in terminal. So I'm going to switch here. I also have Copilot, so you might see that it just gives me some help. It's like, oh, I'm not writing this. It just Copilot helping me, trying to help. I don't want this help now. And we should see, this should work now. So what it does, it has the test OLEDB Excel file, which is like a database. People say Excel is not a database. It is in my example. And I run SQL queries. So select from a range, select two columns from a range, select where, and put some aliases as well. And the output is just here in the console. So this is the first query. Select from the sheet. Again, select from another sheet where we have multiple columns. And here we are selecting just two columns. Here is just the filter on groceries. And here is changing the column names. Instead of field 1, field 2, field 3, we have category discount and discount plus. And I should be able to open that original database, which is 3 kilobytes gigantic database. Yeah, so that's just my database. And I can use select queries, T-SQL queries within PowerShell to get access to spreadsheets, so I can do this type of analytics as well with PowerShell, not having Management Studio or any other tool to access SQL. And I think that's it. I'm just going to quickly check if this works now. It might not work, but yeah, there's something wrong with the path. So it basically does the same thing as the formula. It creates a spreadsheet. It converts that to Excel database, and then you can select things and do stuff. But for some reason, this doesn't save it as my file. So that's it from the presentation. It's a ImportExcel introduction, and as you can see, you can do multiple things. I know it's not very deep, but you can do some various things with the module, and you don't really need the Excel installed on your machine because it's all in the PowerShell module. So my scenario when I was using this was usually reports generated from some management boxes. So when I'm a DBA, I have a special server usually, which is called management box, and where I connect to database servers to manage. We don't install anything on the database servers because we want to just keep them for the database workload. So we have the management box, but Excel is a license. It's extra software that company has to pay. So that I have on my laptop, on my company laptop. And the toolbox, we have multiple toolboxes. It can have PowerShell. So we can create the files, create the reports, and then send it somewhere and open them on our laptops. So we don't have Excel on every toolbox. This way we can manage with the reports and sometimes other things that are easy to consume as Excel spreadsheet rather than CSV file or some other place. And just one note, there's a tool called DB Checks for SQL Server. It runs hundreds of tests for your environment. And there is a template in Power BI. I'm not sure if it was refreshed, but it was quite old. Very, very good if you have the Power BI, but you can also do the same thing in Excel. It will just spit the data into Excel, and you have a dashboard in your Excel spreadsheet. And using the PowerShell module, you don't need any other tools, and it's all free at this point. So that's all, and I'm open to questions.
I've not used PowerShell before. This might be a silly question, but is it part of Microsoft's ecosystem, or is it a separate thing?
Yeah, so it was currently there is PowerShell 7, which is when you look for that, it's the universal one. This one is PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, which is PowerShell 5, and in between there was PowerShell 6. So it's all from Microsoft. And the first one was in the on Windows environment.
And assuming just because it's got SQL inside, all of the coding that you've done, this is with SQL coding. Like your, Excel source file equals right verbose, all this kind of text that we're seeing in here.
This one? No, this.
For example, everything, in that white area.
That's just SQL. That's
This is all SQL coding.
SQL. Yes, that's. I think that's T-SQL because it uses the OLEDB interface. So I believe that's either T-SQL or something similar. Don't remember now because in Access you can have SQL as well, but it's different than T-SQL. Yeah. But I don't know if exactly. Because, but that's the SQL flavor.
Yeah, because obviously you're using SQL language, but you're incorporating like VLOOKUPs and sheet 1 and all these kind of things into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically. So for me, it might be easier to use SQL to get some data, like with the conditions, like where, because you see it's just like one line. Yeah. Get from the source where condition, or select one column. Done. With Excel, you need some formulas, and it gets complicated if you have some complicated data. I think you could use that also in. You need some kind of connection editor of the SQL to connect to Excel. Don't remember now if Management Studio can do that.
So if you didn't have Excel installed on your computer, you still have to kind of wait till it was on before you could see this.
Yeah. So I can generate the files. I can open them, modify them. Open, I mean, in as a package, but I cannot view them as the Excel format. I cannot do this because I don't have the application.
I suppose you could still keep making changes to your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Until you got to a computer with.
That's what we did with the health checks. They were constantly writing health checks every day to a certain location, and then we were picking up them the next morning. Just open that Excel, check. Okay, everything is good. But it was coming from the server on a daily basis, and we just had a window on our laptops, and that's why it's cool, because you don't need to actually open them, and just generate the files, including the extra bits like the pivot tables. It's not just the data. So I used to work at a place where we had to create data exports from Oracle, and it was only exporting the raw data table to Excel or CSV, and that was it. Just save what you see, a table, save as a table in Excel. No extra processing. But with this, you can generate all sorts of stuff. You can add images. If you have a static logo as your company, you can add the image as well.
So it's basically like we were talking earlier about Python and Excel. This is almost like SQL. But I'm not interpreting that. You were kind of creating all the output for Excel in SQL at the backstage.
In PowerShell.
PowerShell.
Yeah. Oh, SQL might be easier to do data stuff than PowerShell. There's a PowerShell module to connect to SQL Server. It's called DBA Tools. It's to manage SQL Server, but you can also connect and grab data from SQL Server and then pass it to Excel. The problem is that if you have loads of data and you have to do this, the PowerShell will do this in memory, and on your laptop it will just like blow up your laptop because it's too much data. But for things like the reports, like just grab some stuff, do them quickly and spit out. So yeah, for bigger things, there might be better tools to work with that. But what we found is having a template. Oh, and that's what I didn't mention. If you have all the scripts, like this PowerShell scripts, PS1, not this one, this one, all these scripts, you can save them to your code repository, like GitHub or Bitbucket, and then someone new comes in, like you mentioned that person who someone created a spreadsheet and they don't know how, like what to do, because mostly in Excel it's like you have to click this place and then move there and do write function here of the formula here and select this range and do this and do that, and it's all very manual, and someone new comes in and it's like, I missed one step. Like how do you get to this? With the script you have everything written down, and you can save that to a repository, and someone can pick this up and say like, oh, let's change this line. With the Copilot, you can also ask to explain things like, this might be maybe not a perfect one, but we can ask Copilot to explain the function. So it will the function, the code. So it will say like, I'm importing the module, defining the Excel file, blah, blah, blah. So whatever I said, plus you can ask extra questions, like follow-up questions, like, what is this? Why do you include that? And I didn't mention that in the presentation, but the Copilot will tell you that ignores the errors, and it doesn't throw a red message. So when I was creating the similar demo, the ChatGPT wasn't there, so I had to explain everything. Now I can give this code everywhere, and people can get the explanation from Copilot. And Copilot is free. If you are not familiar with the Copilot, GitHub Copilot, you create an account on GitHub, and there's a certain amount of queries or conversation you can do with Copilot that's free. And here you can change the model. So I have GPT-4o, but I also use the Cloud Sonnet. So it's I think the Mihaly mentioned, was Mihaly here? Oh, maybe he presented our user group. He mentioned that the Cloud 3.7, thinking, this one, was better with the code generation and suggestions than GPT-4o. And then I could create probably that whole demo with Copilot. The only problem is the data that is available for the model. Because if it's Python, it's very popular, and there's like a better chance we get the proper results. With this one, is quite niche, pun intended, and this might not always work. I had some bad luck with some even smaller modules where it was just making up the commands. But with something more popular, it shouldn't be an issue. There is also in Copilot, I'm just switched from Excel to Copilot. There's also a code base. So if you have this module downloaded to your laptop, you can run the code base and it will analyze the whole module on your laptop. So that's very helpful. But yeah, no Copilot now. Any other questions?
With PowerShell, can you set it to run, like execute your code at specific times?
Yes.
So, like if you wanted something to run a report tomorrow, you could set it to do that.
Yeah. You can do like the two ways I'm doing this at work, or like I did this at work, was you need some kind of an agent to run this. So I have SQL Server agent, which is the task scheduler in database engine, but you also have Windows task scheduler here, and you can define you probably have lots of tasks already running there, so you can, yeah, I have loads, OneDrive and Adobe trying to do stuff, but you can create a task there and it will kick off whenever you want and run the PowerShell command that does something, and it will do it for you.
Computers on at a time.
Yes, yeah. So when it's different when you have just laptop, so that's why we have the management boxes, because they are always on. Well, when you close your laptop, it doesn't work, well, like you said. But then you have another server where you can just set this up, and this is running constantly. So the health checks we were doing were running from those management boxes, not from the database servers. But you can do this. You can also run. There's like a concept of job where you can create multiple things running in parallel. So whatever you've seen here, I was running this, and you see the execution, but you can set up a script and kick off it, and it will be running in the background. And then you can run extra one. So if you have multiple things, you don't have to run this one by one. They can run in parallel as well. So it's called PowerShell job.
That's very cool. And can you execute? So say you had something with like VBA in it, could you execute that through PowerShell too? Or is it just
in Excel? Yeah. I'm not sure if they had VBA. We can search if there was an example. Examples, VBA, add worksheet, VBA. There is something like create VBA project. VBA, change pivot tables, VBA. So let's see this example. It has a VBA code here. Code module code. So looks like it can add. Now I don't know if it can run the macro or the command in it, but it's possible to just add the VBA. So it's, yeah, the EP Plus package is very powerful, even that older version. Any other questions? Do we have questions online? Nope.
I have a question on like formatting and stuff. Like because you can set formatting in PowerShell, but can you read formatting from an Excel file? So like saying that this cell contains this kind of formatting has been done.
I believe so, yes, because when you have this, I don't have the. Let me see if I can open the package. I had the package open here, but it was closed. Let's see. So this is like an object with some properties. Open package here. I might just, let's see. Open package. No. Yeah, the demo is cleaning up a few things, so it's not opening this file. But if you open that package, it has all the metadata, so you can navigate through different properties. Like this here is a property, like stock data, stock chart is a property of that package, and then you have package, and then you inside that you have some other properties, and you get to that conditional formatting.
Can it tell you the exact range that the conditional formatting applies?
It should tell everything that you see in the Excel.
Nice.
So you will get to those data, and then you can change them or delete them. There should be, oh, this is Office Open XML. There should be a documentation for that as well, to which procedures or stuff like that. So what kind of properties and methods are available for you? But it's a very good question. Yeah. So I'm done. If there are no questions.
There's no questions online. So I think we can leave it there. But thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely a new way of using and approaching Excel. So it's good to see different methods.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure. I'm going to stop sharing now.